Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and I decided to shoot another video about glue because so many people are asking and there's a lot of new people. So I'm going to go over and do some demos and go into more detail on the glues. So here we go. Okay, so here we are with the work table. I'm working on the Matthew journal right now, so I thought I'd just leave it here and use it for examples. And so glue. You need one of these two kind of glues, in my opinion. This is art glitter glue, which it's all cracked and it's old, and I'm actually out of art glitter glue. I kind of switch back and forth between this art glitter glue and Barely art glue. The only difference between the two that I can tell is Barely art glue is a little bit easier to reposition. Like if you stick it and you didn't quite get it in the right place, you can quickly lift it and move it a little bit. Art glitter glue, once you put it down, it's pretty much a done deal. Let me talk for a minute about the art glitter glue. So it has a pin that comes with it that is a stainless steel pin. You don't want to lose this thing because this is how you seal this tip. And if you lose this pin and you try to use a regular sewing pin, it will rust and it makes a big mess. So then your other choice is to go out on Etsy and you can buy these replacement pins, but I think you get like 4 for $10. They're very expensive. So don't lose your pin. These tips twist on and off, and I usually have to use a pair of pliers, but you just screw it onto the plastic nozzle when you get it, and then after you use it, you just need to wash it. Put it in some water, let it soak a little bit, and then you want to make sure you get all that glue out. So you can take this pin back and forth and make sure it's open, because this will cause you problems if you don't get that open. So the advantage is with this little bitty tip, you don't use this glue very quickly, and so even though it's expensive, it will last you a really long time. These two glues, why do we use them? Because they dry instantly, and they don't have excess water in them, so they don't pucker your paper. So put my pin back in there now. Oh, one more thing. When you clean them, let me show you a little trick I found. It's called Gum. I guess that's the brand, but they're little teeth cleaning tools. They come in different size bristles. The green one is the one that works for these. They have bigger ones, but this is the one you need, the green one. And you can get them at Walmart over by the toothbrushes and stuff. And now on this nozzle, it won't go, I don't believe it goes all the way through, but it goes pretty far up into it. And so if you get a clog or whatever, this is a great way to go up in there and clean it out, and then use the pin on this very tippy top part that's little. And if you soak it in water and so on and so forth, if it's clogged, it'll unclog. And you always want to remember to put the pin back in it. Okay, so that is art glitter glue. The Barely art glue comes with this little tube and the tips. They're plastic, not metal. So this one is the one I use the most, and it's got a little bit bigger end on it. And then this is the fine tip on this one. And I need the pin from the art glitter glue to probably clean this one out. It looks like I left glue in it. So yeah, and it's even still wet because it's been in that tube. So you can do that. I even get water on the pin a little bit and swish it around to get it cleaned out. And then this will go up in it to a certain extent, about that far. So this one, to be honest, I don't use this one. I probably ought to, because it would be a finer point. But this one I use because this brush will go up in it and I can clean it. See, it goes clear down in there, and from the inside, if you take the time, see how it pokes through there, and you can get it really good and clean. So I fought this for a long time because I thought I don't want to have to clean these tips every time I use glue. And so what I would do is just I try to get away with it, but they dry, they clog, it's a mess. So just use your glue, and when you're all done, throw it in a bowl of water and let it be there for a little bit, and then take this thing and clean it out. Takes a minute to get through there. And it gets all the gunk and glue. You might have to do that 3 or 4 times to get it all out. And put it away in the little, whoops, where's the tube? In the little tube. And then take the green stopper, which is just to seal it off. And this just seals it off so no air gets to it and it doesn't dry out. And you seal it up and leave it for the next time. Okay, so those are the 2 important glues. Now let me show you Elmer's glue. I've had a class where I've had them using Elmer's glue and it's a mess. It takes forever to dry. It's got too much water in it and just doesn't work nearly as well. But it is cheap, I will give it that. Okay, so I'm going to put this tip on. So let me demonstrate. I'll glue a pocket in here real quick. Let me put this pin back in here. And I'll tell you about Fabri-Tac here in just a second. I'll put this one here. Okay. Now I have to be a little more cautious with this because this is the bigger tip. If I had the fine tip on it, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but I just try not to put any more glue than I have to on here. Just draw it out like that. And then you just, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't spin it around. Okay, and then you just put it where you want it. And press it down and it's glued. And I mean, it's pretty much dry. You can go on about your business and do the next one. And so on and so forth. So that's the advantage of those glues. So let me tell you about Fabri-Tac. So here's Fabri-Tac. It says permanent fabric adhesive. This works on fabrics and all sorts of different materials when the other glue is just for paper. And you can, if you're a beginner, don't worry about it, buy it, use it just like it comes. No problem. You've got that kind of a tip on it. But if you want to get fancy, of course, there's always other options. This is called Sweet Sugar Bell, and it's an icing bottle for cakes and things. You can get them on Amazon. They have these silicone tips, and they have this metal tip, and it gives you a much finer point, and it will also make it last longer because it doesn't put as much glue out at a time. Now, here's a couple tricks with these Sugar Bell bottles. The glue is glue, right? So if you get glue in your threads, it makes it really difficult to open it. So what I do, if you want to use wax, or I've got chapstick here, put that on those threads every now and then, and it makes this go on an awful lot easier. Now this tip breaks off like that, and you can clean it, you know, pull the excess glue off, and so on and so forth. And then you put it back on, and then you just screw this over it. But then when you want to fill the bottle, you go here. And this is the one also where you want to put some of this, and I needed to do this because I haven't done it for a long time. So put some of that chapstick and stuff on these threads so that it opens easily. So you just fill it up with your Fabri-Tac. Now here's the thing about Fabri-Tac. If it sits for a long time, it gets really, really thick, and it takes a really long time to use it. So what you want to do is thin it down, and so you want acetone. So I've got this off Amazon, just 100% pure acetone, and this is, I've had this thicker than this. It's really not terrible, but it could be thinned down. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of acetone in there, and you don't want to shake it because it will find, it's so thin it'll just run out all around, and you don't want to shake it anyway. You want to stir it. And what you want to stir it with, where did I put it, is something like a wooden stick. Don't use a paintbrush handle because this will eat the paint off of it and it'll mess up your glue. It'll put a color in your glue that you don't want. So I just use these barbecue skewers and I just stir it. And you can see the thick glue, but it melts it and just becomes part of it. And then it comes out a lot easier, much easier to work with. So keep some acetone on hand with your Fabri-Tac. And then even like I'm going to stir it and then I'm going to let it sit. And as it sits, it sort of combines anyway, so it'll be okay next time you use it. But you know, if you're wanting to use it, like if I needed it right this minute, I would have to sit here and stir it, make it smooth enough to use. Now, if I was using it right now, I could take this and just put it on something and use that glue too, so I don't have to waste it. So it's just, it is what it is. So those are the main glues that I use. I don't claim to know everything about glue. I don't use glue sticks because I don't feel like they're archival. They don't last years and years and years. So I don't use glue sticks. They just, but other people are experts on glue sticks. So you'll have to look elsewhere if you want to hear about those. But for me, they're not permanent enough. So I don't mess with them. The Bearly Art glue and also the art glitter glue, you can get the bigger, larger refill containers and you get a better price on them per ounce. So I bought, this is the refill, and then I just keep refilling the applicator bottle. And the same thing with this. I've got a bigger bottle of this and I just keep refilling it, which is why this looks like it does, because this was the original bottle that I bought. And let's see, is that it on glue today? I think it is. That's all I can tell you. I hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.